We're live, guys. Hey, hey.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Brandon
Hello.
Ellrich. My publication is Brandon Ellrich is So Gay. I am joined today by Henrik Halen and Sturge
You could say my full
from,
name.
Gerald Sturgill.
Just start
And
writing it down. Yep.
these are three gay guys doing a little meet and greet. We're going to be talking about writing and all kinds of other things, probably. But if you guys like to introduce yourself, Henrik, what do you write here on Substack?
I write the oh I have more things that I write, but my main thing here at Substack is called Fragments of a Northern Mind, and that is because you can't get it all. You can't get my whole brain out there. I want to keep some things for myself, and it will only be fragments that I write together, and um, some of them will have a gay aspect, and some won't, and that's why I think Fragments is a very good title for my publication here at Substack. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I like it too.
Um, and Sturge, I know you were mainly on Medium, which is where all three of us met. But
Mm.
Mhm.
now that we're all on Substack, what have you been doing here on Substack, and maybe Medium too, if you want to talk about that?
Well, basically, I'm still nicheless, so I just write about on a bunch of different topics. Topics I've focused on in the past: sports, travel, some politics, uh, uh, my RV life, being gay, living with my partner, just a bunch of stuff, just like anything I can think of and anything that suits my fancy that day. So I've written a lot of different things and I've written a lot of stories. So you can't really pin me down. Well, I mean, you could. I mean,
Well,
Henrik, that's not an
someone might want
invitation,
to.
but yeah.
You can. I'd be okay with being pinned down by some people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
But I write a lot of satire and humor on Substack, and I also write about queer issues. Just this week, I wrote about Trans Awareness Week, which kind of ended yesterday, but today is Trans Day of Remembrance. But
well, if it's a whole
anyway,
week, technically wouldn't the weekend on Saturday?
now for some reason it started on the 13th and went through the 19th. I'm not sure. I don't know the significance of that, why it was that way, but
Hmm.
I don't know if it's I guess it's the specific dates rather than going from a full week. But yeah, it
I
was the 13th through the 19th
okay.
this year.
That
So
article you wrote was very, very it was very well written, very thought provoking, and I thought it was pretty awesome.
I appreciate it. It got good attention on Substack. I posted it on Medium and it didn't do much at all, which it's
Medium
these days.
Medium isn't really
Yeah,
giving anyone attention these days, so I mean,
yeah,
and I'm
these
gonna
days
say that
it kind of goes that way.
as a medium boost nominator, I'm just gonna say that like outright. Like I don't care like if anybody has anything to say to me about that. I really don't think anyone's getting attention anymore, even though I still write there.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking about this, guys, and this is kind of funny. Technically, with us three gay guys here, this podcast is technically a threesome. I know I shouldn't be saying that with my partner in the background, but this is a PG-13 threesome. So don't worry about it, guys. Don't think we're gonna do anything crazy in here. Um, the only thing we're really gonna get naked is just getting our ideas out there and just like some of our comments, I think. But maybe Brandon might get naked later if he starts baking something on the show.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah. That's popular.
I think that's I think that's what people are waiting for.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I won't say whether I will or not, and I'm not going to stand up because I may not be wearing pants. I don't. You never know.
I'm definitely not wearing pants. Although they didn't need to know that because You can't see anything down there.
I'm definitely wearing pants and trousers because it's too cold in Denmark for this time of year to not wear anything.
This is for
Oh yeah,
Peter.
I forgot to mention that.
Oh,
Yeah, Henrik is in Denmark. I'm in the Midwest. Sturge is on the East Coast. Is that what you want to? Is that how you want to put it?
Just east of Buffalo, Western New York. Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
yeah,
we've got several people joining.
yeah,
Murphy.
great.
Oh, hello, L. Hello,
Oh,
Murphy.
I have a question for both of you guys, really quick. What's the weirdest
Okay.
fact about you that never makes it into your author bio? I want to kind of give us like a little ice breaking thing as people are coming in.
Um, yeah, I would like to start
Okay.
because, as you know, Denmark is one of the happiest countries in the world, and it has several reasons. And it could be we have bicycles,
I
can
like that.
travel very light and get exercise at the same time. Um, we have a sort of weather here in Denmark that will allow us to appreciate any other sort of weather because it's mostly, at least here in the autumn and winter, it's gray and cold and wet. And you think, oh, Denmark is probably full of snow and polar bears. No way. We are surrounded by too much ocean, so we have a lot of um, Gulf Stream coming over and making the winters very mild for us. So we appreciate any other weather than what we have, especially when the sun shines. Yeah,
You
and
you should go to
here
Missouri where.
in Denmark, most oh, and I see someone is asking if there's the black population in Denmark. Well, yes, we have some people originated from Africa here. Um, the last years we have had several people coming from Sudan and those regions down there, but yeah, most of them are very nice. I worked with an Ethiopian once, and he was a splendid guy. Yes, so yes, we do have a little black population. And the third thing I would say about why we are so happy here in Denmark is that um, for the most mostly we are allowed to just be ourselves without anyone raising an eyebrow.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Well, that part is kind of the opposite of where I am.
And where I am.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in rural areas in the United States, a lot of times it's more conservative and it's a little more difficult to be who you want to be.
yeah,
Um, that's one thing that's good about writing online. Um, that I feel like I can be more myself here and write
Yeah.
about whatever I want. I mean, I suppose somebody could find me and all that kind of thing, but I really haven't experienced much negativity on either Substack or Medium, really. I know
no,
People have
other
tried to
people
find
have.
you. People
What's
have
that?
tried to find you. I said people have tried to find you.
No, I'm just saying they could, I
Oh,
guess, if but no, I haven't had anything like that. I know some other
mm,
people have, but
yeah.
um yeah, one of the other things, I guess, I don't know if I talk a whole lot about it. I can't really think of anything that's like strange or odd that I haven't talked about, but I write a lot of humor stuff, but I have depression. I mean, I've had it for years. It definitely doesn't affect me as much now.
Well,
I've kind of in
mm,
the last few years I've gotten a handle on it, and I know like the signs leading up to it and that kind of thing. If I
mhm,
head down that path, so
mhm.
and I think that's kind of true of a lot of um, humor writers. They use humor as kind of a defense mechanism to combat their humor or
Exactly.
combat their depression. Sorry,
Yeah.
went the other way around.
Oh yeah, no, combat your humor, Brandon. You are
I don't
not
want to
funny at
combat my
all.
humor.
You're
Combat
not
my
funny at
humor with
all.
depression. Yeah.
I know. I'm I'm teasing. Yeah, that's cool. I have a really, really fun fact here. I wanted to drop this in on the live today because I was just like thinking about this when I came up with this question. I was like, I want to give people something to think about when I say it. So one time I was dating a sociopath. This was before I met Mike. And he broke up with me in the most weird way. And this will never make it into my bio, but it has made it into one of my stories. He wrote in a journal the whole time we were together. And for me to accept the breakup, he thought it would be nice for me to read the journal to see why he broke up with me.
Okay.
So he already had all this planned months in advance. He was already writing in the journal every day, writing all the things he couldn't stand about me and just his life with me, whatever. And he had me read the journal the day we broke up.
Terrible.
So he just didn't want to verbalize it.
Yeah, he went very cold with his communication for the last half of the relationship. And one time we were at his house and we were watching something, and I turned it to the music channel and I played that song "Say Something" by Great Big World and
Oh,
Christina Aguilera.
I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
that song, but it's so sad.
yeah. But we can't. I don't think we could sing it here. We'd get copyright stricken. But no. But if I sing like maybe a few bars since I'm feeling a little better, it'd be fun. Well, yeah, that's the other thing. People who know me know I can sing, but that doesn't make it into my thing either.
Oh, by
Well,
the way, Murphy
mhm.
suggests that you unbutton the top button of your shirt.
Oh, I went full. I mean, this was all for Peter.
That'll do for Peter. Yes.
So, Elle Becker, she's in our writing group. We all three know her. But she asked, what do you think are the biggest fears you have as a gay man in a conservative area? Um, one, for me, I think about where I'm going to go before I go there. It de- that kind of determines how I'm going to present myself and even what I'm going to wear. Or sometimes I wear a little bit of makeup. I put a little eyeliner on and stuff like that. And I wear earrings. And the earrings aren't so much a big deal anymore. It seems like more and more guys are
Really
wearing
straight
them.
guy.
No
Mhm.
matter, yeah, straight, gay, no matter what. And they don't do the right ear and the left ear meaning different things and that kind of thing, But I think, um, yeah, if there's certain places that maybe, like if I'm going to a country western bar or something like that, I'm probably not going to gay it up as much. Probably going to tone it down a bit. But
Do you country it up when you talk? You're like, "Hey, y'all."
I could, yeah, I could, but I don't own any boots or a cowboy hat, so I can't go too far.
I wear boots everywhere I go.
So, Henrik, are there areas? I know you said Denmark is pretty accepting and you could be who you are. Are there
Yeah,
pockets or
I can
areas that
tell
are
you. I
more?
can tell you uh, just another story because you said that with the conservative area. We have, of course, here in Denmark, a conservative party in politics, and a few years ago, the leader of the conservative party here in Denmark was a gay man, and he died unfortunately. very sudden. He was very stressed, and I think he got a cardiac arrest or something. He was only about 45
52.
or 50 years old.
Well,
He was really a successful politician, and everyone knew that he was gay. And he also brought his partner to the ball with the Queen at New Year and things like that. There's no problem with such with a thing like that.
mhm.
So
Well, that's really cool. How did he die?
he was. I think he was too stressed, and then he had a heart attack and
Oh,
died.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, very dramatic. And the whole of Denmark somehow participated in his passing, and it was very respectful and a fine story. Yeah.
So, by the
So
way, if anyone was
Sturge.
curious, the name of the party that Henrik is referring to is, hopefully I'm pronouncing this correctly because he always he always nitpicks my Danish pronunciation. Det Conservative Folkeparti.
Det Konservative Folkeparti.
Yeah, you have to swallow some of those letters. It's easier for me to pronounce it the Norwegian way as opposed to
Yeah.
the Danish way. Well, anyway, okay.
Our,
What
audi-
were
our,
you at?
Yes.
our audience today cannot know that you and I have a common passion about Nordic languages.
Oh,
Sturge.
I'm huge into language learning and especially the Nordic languages. Right now, I'm learning Danish, Swedish, and Norwegian. So it's a little bit ambitious, but I'm going to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I want
and
to insert a statement here. I saw some hearts going up. If any of you all can click the heart button, that helps alert the algorithm that our live is here and kind of maybe get more people to come in. So,
I see
but
Ben just joined after his talk with Walter and
yes,
Fred. Hmm.
yes, Kathy Minicozy is in here too. They're part of our writing group. But
great.
so
We will-
Sturge, back to the conservative area part. That the question, what
yeah,
what
yeah.
do you experience in your area as far as like acceptance and that kind of thing in the conservative area?
I'm careful around who I tell that I'm gay to, and I don't really do a lot of PDA anyway, no matter whether it's accepting or not. But I'm just always mindful of my surroundings. But at the same time, I've found that a lot of people out here don't really have a huge problem with the gay thing in 2025. It, it's not an issue as much as you think it would be in a conservative area these days. Like, I feel like because a lot of conservative figures have come into the party as gay, like Peter Thiel and some of these other prominent figures, I don't think it's as big of a deal as it used to be. Um, I mean, I wish it were coming from the left flank, like, the more progressive gay people, but I mean, it seems like they probably hate Democrats more than they hate gay people. I don't know. That's what my take on it is. That's what I've noticed.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, like especially like European country, most other countries don't even see this as an issue. Your sexual orientation and who you love, who you want to marry, that doesn't enter the realm of politics, and it really shouldn't. It shouldn't have anything to do with the political parties or who you vote for or what laws are made. That's a personal issue that I believe should not enter into your country's politics. And
Yeah,
I wish our country would kind of get on board with uh, most of the rest of the world.
exactly. Exactly. Um, kind of like, I guess this could segue into this because I was thinking about this question and I was waiting for you to kind of like lead me into it. But I was just thinking about how these viewpoints, like especially Europe versus USA, but then we could look at it at a global scale because it's still pretty widely. There are large swaths of places that don't accept us. How? Why do you think that readers expect us at times to edit out our identities out of our stories, like as writers, like as gay writers? Do you feel like that's ever a pressure that people say, I don't want to read something too gay, or I don't want to read a gay story if it leads too much into who you are, or you know what I mean. Like it kind of like leads into that. Like, what are your feelings on that, and has it ever happened to you?
Henrik, have you ever gotten any pushback from any of your writing that alludes to your sexuality?
No, no, I haven't. It has always been positive, and I've had a couple of my things written over at Medium in the gay sections that have been boosted, and I've only had positive remarks. Yeah, no
Mhm.
problem. No.
Yeah, I have not. I've had very few negative reactions to my writing, both on Substack and on Medium, which I guess I'm fortunate because I've heard of a lot of other people who have gotten negative comments, but
Hmm.
um, and I think it might be partly because I write a lot of humor and
Yeah.
satire, and yeah, I have gotten a few comments where people have taken my writing more seriously than they should have, and some people don't seem to understand the meaning of satire, and I've seen that from different people. But as far as expressing my sexuality and everything, I knew that was kind of a risk when, because on Medium, I didn't include a lot of my sexuality. It depended on what I was writing. I
Mhm.
would, because on Medium I wrote about everything basically. I mean, wrote about cats and psychology, and I did write about queer issues or sometimes humor that had nothing to do with being queer. But then when I went to Substack, it's recommended that you kind of narrow down your niche, which I really didn't want to do.
I'm still
But
not doing it.
yeah, but I monetized. I want to make money with by doing what I love. And I know when people subscribe to you, they subscribe for a certain content. Some people don't want to see all kinds of different things. They don't want to pay for something that's like all over the place. And I understand that, but I'm I'm kind of the opposite. When I read somebody, I don't mind reading like a bunch of different types of content. And so, but I don't know if there are a whole lot of people out there like me. So I narrowed down my niche. But, I think you can tell by my publication name. Brandon Ellrich is so gay. Obviously, that's kind of that's telling you that a lot of my content is about queer things.
Hmm.
Now, some of what I write in my humor, it doesn't include my sexuality. It doesn't have anything to do with being gay. One
Oh,
one one article I wrote is about things this cow is thinking.
I
And
loved
the other
that
day
article. That was
yeah,
hilarious. Yeah.
and the other day I wrote about yesterday I guess I published an article about World Toilet Day. Just random funny things. And so I knew it was a risk when I narrowed down my niche, because I thought, well, there are some people that are going to look at that and see the word gay, and just that alone is going to turn them off. And they're like, well, I don't want to read gay shit. It- Probably from a lot of straight people or more conservative, they're like, they know to avoid my content, which on one hand is a good thing because I let them know right up front, including the fact that I'm gay kind of will um, kind of weed out some of those people that
Yeah.
may not want to read that stuff. So in that respect, it's a good thing. But then I don't know, it also might exclude some people that would read it otherwise.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's
I,
kind of my
I have
take on it. I haven't got a lot of negative feedback though.
I have a
Sorry,
story
sir.
for you guys because I've been on Medium for 4 years. I've written a lot of stuff, and I feel like they say you don't make it until somebody's a hater and really digs into you for something that you didn't even expect was going to be a big deal.
Right.
One time I just briefly mentioned my partner in a weight loss story that had been boosted. And usually back then when things were boosted, you got a wider audience and people who weren't necessarily looking for your content were reading it. And one person had basically said, why do you have to include the fact that you're gay in your story about your weight loss journey? I'm going to stop following you. I don't want to read you anymore because you made it. And it wasn't even like anything, like the whole section wasn't even anything. Like it was just a brief mention of my partner. And they said, why do you have to make yourself being gay such a whole thing? Like, you've turned me off to your writing. I'm like, good, get gone. Fuck you. I mean, I'm here for the people who actually care and who continue to want to be in my community. I don't need you. What do you think that was going to hurt me? Like I've taken a lot of those hits over the years. And when I do, I mean, yes, I'm sensitive. So sometimes it does affect me, but I kind of go into this with this brash attitude now. I'll either ignore them or I'll come back with a really, really snappy clapback that they won't even be expecting. That's my take on it. I love it. Cause then, but although I know from some of the people in our writers group, they have told me, maybe you just go tell them like, hey, thank you for reading my story, even if you didn't agree with what I was saying or if you didn't like it. At least you gave me some visibility, some boost,
Yeah.
and leave it at that. I mean, that really is what it, that really is what it is. Like you're right. Sometimes, like you're not going to expect it. Your readers are going to have a mood swing, or you're going to get those people who are just not having a good day. Oh, excuse me, just not having a good day, and some water fell. Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I wanted to bring up an
Yeah,
important issue
I
that
agree with this one.
Ben Yolancy brought up. What are your thoughts on squid relations?
I think that's
I think that's
pretty.
yeah,
I think that's pretty gay.
yeah
It's
it sounds
so
kind of
gay.
gay. I mean, I guess aren't there would be
No,
female
no.
squids,
No.
right?
We're discounting that. Squid on Squid is so gay. That's your new publication.
Squid on squid is so gay. Maybe I
Mm-hmm.
should make a new section.
And I'm lost. I don't know what it means.
Squid. I don't know what squid, octopus. Eight-legged creature in the ocean.
Yeah, yeah.
Black
Okay.
Spruta. Black Spruta.
Bleksprudel.
Or Black
Okay.
Sprua. Black
Yeah.
Sprua. Yeah.
What
Oh,
has that
Ben.
to do with being gay?
I
No, I'm just
he was
assigning
he
gay to
was.
that.
I think Ben might have been a little satirical
Ben,
there.
Okay.
I love Ben's off the wall comments. I can always riff off of them.
Oh, he does ask a serious question though. What's the single gayest thing about being gay?
Um so actually technically I've been told that gay sex is twice as straight sex because there are two men involved. Um so the gayest thing I think about gay sex, or I mean about being gay, is not the sex necessarily. It's like the stuff that Brandon had said he does earlier, like putting on the lipstick. Wait, you said lipstick, right?
Sometimes lip gloss, but makeup, eyeliner.
Mm.
Yeah.
Makeup, eyeliner, putting on the earrings, cosplaying as a woman, basically. But I mean, he's not. He's just being himself. So I think at the end of the day, being yourself is pretty gay.
Yeah. So, Henrik, what do you think the gayest thing about being gay is?
Um, well, I never thought of that as that I should figure out what was the gayest thing about being gay. Um, but let's say kissing a man.
I don't know.
I
That
mean,
sounds pretty straight to me.
when you're doing it with another man, I mean, that is pretty gay. I
Yeah,
think,
that's pretty gay. Yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that's the top point.
I think
Yeah.
it's
I
pretty
think,
gay if a woman's involved.
Uh,
but
might
how is it
be.
gay if a woman's involved?
That's just gay. Why? being straight so gay now. Like I don't,
Right.
yeah, I don't
I
understand it.
think one thing, like I've hooked up with guys who consider themselves as straight, but they're willing to um, engage in certain sexual behaviors, but most of them they don't want to kiss because kissing is more, a lot of people consider that more intimate.
As long as you keep your socks on, it's not
Oh,
gay.
really? Oh.
Oh,
In
Yeah,
sex or
yeah,
kissing?
both.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I would say, yeah, I would say kissing a guy. I would agree with Henrik probably. Kissing a guy is pretty gay because of the intimacy involved. Because you can have sex, like a straight guy will um, be stimulated by anal penetration um, because of the prostate.
I've
yeah.
had sex with a few straight guys.
Yeah. So that part isn't necessarily gay. It's just biology. It's physics. It's your body is reacting to a stimulus. So that it's not gay, but if you choose to kiss another guy and you enjoy kissing another guy, that is more intimate. And yeah, I would say that would be true. That's my opinion on it.
I have a question for you guys, and this is kind of funny. I'm not really going to try to like transition off of this, but I want to ask you: do you think, as gay men writers, do you think we have a certain superpower when it comes to our writing? Like, do you think there are certain things we're allowed to say that some other types of, like, let's just keep it in the male environment, that straight men or non-gay men couldn't write? Like, I have something in mind, but I want to ask Henrik this first because I want to understand from a cultural perspective what you feel like you could write that a straight man couldn't write or a non-gay man couldn't write.
In fact, I think there is a difference. I think the difference is that we should write about our sexuality. Um, uh, I know I have been a little chicken, and I do not do it here at my official Substack, but I have a little unofficial Substack, and I put up some naughty stories over there, and
Oh, I enjoy your
I
other stuff.
I damn I mean, I have to say it's a very amazing way to go, and it is getting read from a lot of people. It's very amazing. But yes, in fact, I think we should write. We shouldn't just could write. We should write about what we experience because our way of seeing things is so much different than from normal straight people's nose. Yeah. In 2010, me and my partner bought this house, and it is placed very much alone on the middle of the fields and very far out in the countryside. And we were just thinking, oh, we are going to live here as the anonymous gay couple. And we learned in just 1 week that on this road, which is approximately 5 kilometers long here in the countryside, we were the East gays because on the other end of the road, there was also a gay couple. So they were the West gays. And in the middle of the road was a third couple living. So they were the middle gays. So yes, gay people are everywhere. And you can't just be anonymous, and it doesn't serve any purpose. You have to tell the world that.
I'm coming
Yeah.
out. I want the world to know.
Well, about coming out, it is also such a thing now. Where um, you just don't come out just once. You come out every day or
Yeah.
every week or in every
Sometimes twice a
situation you
day.
come to. And well, I do. I must admit, I have situations where I say, no, I'm not going to tell that I'm gay, because it in certain ways it don't matter. So why should I tell
Yeah.
people that I'm gay? Then
Right.
I'm just a human being.
Yeah. In some cases, it doesn't. I mean, there are people that don't really need to know. It's not like I think it is a part of who I am, but it's not the only thing about me. It's not. It doesn't define my entire existence.
No.
But there are some times where I feel like I want to tell people just because I want to be proud of who I am, and
Mhm.
I don't want to carry the shame, because growing up in a conservative religious household,
Oh yeah, I can
you
relate.
can you can kind of be bombarded with guilt and instilled with shame about who you are.
Mm.
And to help combat that, I think it's good to admit, for me, to admit that I'm gay and to tell other people about that. So in some cases, I think it is a good idea to do it, but in other cases, it can be dangerous. So not revealing that you're gay can be self protection.
Yeah.
But as far as going back to the
Pretty.
yes,
Oh,
She's
going back,
pretty.
the
yeah,
cat has to
Zoe,
come.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
wanted to go outside, and since I didn't get up and let her out, and oh, let's not do that. Oh, how
This
rude!
is Brandon's only cat fans right now.
Yeah,
Zoe just showed her butthole on camera. She was like, I want to get you some views, Daddy."
yeah. She's interrupting me because she wanted to go outside, and I didn't get up to let her out. So anyway, going going
Okay,
back
well,
to
anyway, so your gay superpower as a gay writer, then you're saying is not being gay sometimes, or I mean,
well,
not
not as a
presenting.
that's more like in the real world, I guess,
Yeah, yeah,
IRL, But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I think we do kind of have a superpower as far as writing. Well, in general, I think being gay, I think we have more empathy because of the way, especially like the way I grew up, being in a conservative area or religious household and that kind of thing. I know what it's like to be looked at as if you shouldn't exist, that you're sinful, that some people have told me that I'm going to hell and that kind of thing. So knowing
And
that
hell's the time to
that I'm
die.
treated that way, knowing that I'm treated that way, I can relate to other people, minorities, that are rejected and ostracized. And I think that does give me kind of a unique perspective, and I feel like I can relate to other minorities and things. I know it's not the same issue, like being black in America sometimes is can be dangerous in some areas. I can't
Or being
completely,
brown.
yeah, well, yeah, being brown, black and brown, but I can't completely relate to that, but I can have some empathy toward it because I can be treated in a similar manner. There have been a lot of gay people, trans people who have been beaten, tortured, murdered for being who they are. The same is true historically in the Black community, of course. So that can kind of be
An
kind
intersection.
of right.
Hmm. I would like to share what I think my superpower is, and it's something that I lean into a lot in real life and not as much in my writing, although I do sometimes lean into it in my writing, is I push the boundaries with my humor. You guys know me pretty well. I like to push buttons and boundaries with my humor. I'd get a little wild sometimes. I don't usually do it like on our lives a lot, but I mean sometimes I will. But I just generally feel like that's a superpower of mine. Like I can go places in humor that I feel like not a lot of other people that aren't gay can go and kind of push that boundary there. And I don't know, it feels like a superpower, even if it isn't.
Well, that's true too. I didn't address that part of it, but writing humor, I think you can but get away with more in that arena. You know, you can write it off as satire or being sarcastic or humorous, and you can kind of get away with different with more with different language and things like that, where you couldn't in other
Yeah,
arenas or as a different writer.
exactly. Do you think that gay writers collaborate differently than other writers, like more mainstream networks? Like Henrik, what is your take on that? How do you think gay writers collaborate with each other differently as opposed to, like, let's say if it was a mixed crowd or whatever, we could versus the other.
For me, it doesn't matter. I've had wonderful cooperations with straight writers and also with gay writers. So I can't really tell. No.
How about with you, Brandon? Like, well, for you, I mean, okay, we can also include the queer community here, or the like the greater rainbow community. You do a lot of live videos with Wendy the Druid, who is amazing. I absolutely love her. What is your take on how your collaboration with the community is different as opposed to going outside of the community?
Um, it is. I mean, obviously, I think it is easier to relate to someone who is within the community. You
Hmm.
definitely have some of the same struggles and everything, but our lives are different. We grew up in different ways. I was
Hmm.
last. Let's see, it was last month, October. Yeah, in October, I was on a live with Lawrence Winterman and Aidan Wharton, and we were talking about our coming out journeys and how we grew up and things. And Aiden was talking about being accepted in his high school and with his parents and everything. And he had a pretty positive coming out experience. And then it got to me, and I was like, well, mine's pretty much the opposite. You know, even though we're both in the same community, as it were, we still have different experiences growing up, but
Different.
it is easier to relate to somebody in the queer community. I've had collaborations with straight people too,
Yeah.
and they usually they can kind of understand, they can kind of see, at least sympathize
Hmm.
with me on certain issues, but as far as empathy, that's it takes it to another level. Have they ever experienced being ostracized and bullied and things like that? Some of them have. Some straight
Yeah.
people, you know, when they were growing up, they might have been bullied for being too small or
Different.
too skinny or
Hmm.
whatever, different in some way. And
Hmm.
so a lot of people in the straight community can still find some kind of relatability
And
with
common
those
ground.
in the queer. Yeah, right. So I think if you can find that commonality, that empathy among straight and queer writers, I think that makes it a little easier to collaborate. Um, I think it's easier, especially for the queer community and straight women, like a gay man and a straight woman, I'll very often get along well, And like for my publication, I would say most of my subscribers are women,
I love that.
and some in the gay community too, but not as many straight guys. There are several, but
We all fit in
it's
somewhere, Nikki.
oh yes, yeah. What if you don't fit in anywhere? I think I like Sturge said. I think there's someone out there that you can that relate to in some way. I mean, every journey, every person is unique in their stories, but I think there's some kind of commonality, whether it's a little more general or not. It may not be your specific situation, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think for me, I think I'm in the same boat as you. I think there's always something to relate to, no matter if I'm working with a straight person, a gay person, a bi person, somebody from the trans community, somebody from the asexual community, somebody just wherever. Like we're all people and we all have common struggles, but we also have things. So that's the things we can relate to. And then we have our own unique struggles. And I think talking about those unique struggles and bringing awareness to that to people who may not know those exactly provides a dynamic that I think is very important in these discussions, that we learn from each other. I really think that's a huge thing. We just have to learn from each other and open our minds to other people's experiences and possibilities, and basically, I mean, lead with love and empathy. That's all you can do. Like at the end of the day, that's how I am. I don't like judging people. I really don't. And at the end of the day, we're all people and we all have something to say.
I think a lot of people want to hear from differing viewpoints. Like a couple of my subscribers wanted, like I do an audio podcast every Friday. Sometimes I have guests on there, and sometimes I do it alone. But I asked what people wanted to hear, and one or two of people said they'd like to hear a perspective where I talk to a straight guy, and so I reached out to Kenyon and I had been talking back and forth. We were going to collaborate on something, and we uh, we did a live together. And I was really surprised at the way we could relate to each other. I mean, he's obviously an ally. He's written about things about the queer community. He wrote about conversion therapy, which is one of the things I thought. I asked him. I was like, "Hey, would you want to come on live and kind of talk about why you wrote this and what kind of connection you have?" And he was willing to do that, and kind of revealed some personal things about himself, and we we were able to make a connection. So I would like to do more of that. Find other
Yeah.
people who identify as straight or somewhere outside of my specific community, and
Yeah.
find something to talk about.
Or even somebody who's within the same community as you, but in a different region of the world or the country, and just see how
Right.
their experience could differ from yours.
Yeah, like
Or
Henrik was
or
talking
the
about.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I find it very inspiring to hear about your ways of dealing with life and being gay and being alive in the US of A, because it's so different from being over here in Europe and Denmark.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah,
You guys have a beautiful social welfare state that takes care of all the citizens, no matter if you're gay, straight,
yeah,
bi, trans, ace, whatever, and everyone's taking care of you. You all are happy to pay into the system that gives you all these wonderful things, and I think that's really
yeah,
awesome. This what's it called? This communal thinking that, you know, we're sacrificing a little bit to put into the system. At the same time, we have access to all these great things, and it's our duty and honor to be able to do this for our people.
You know, it's worked into what we pay in the tax, and the one who earns a lot of money will put more money into the tax, and the one who doesn't earn very much will put very little money into the tax, and in the end, both of them will get exactly the same treatment in the hospital.
Yeah. By the way, I want to plug this really quick. I know we're going to plug a little bit later, but we're in early discussions. I was talking with Henrik that he and I are going to do a collaboration pretty soon about this very topic. So I just wanted to bring it up and introduce it in here.
Yeah. Mm.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So it is possible. It is possible.
It is very possible. Yeah, I agree, Nikki. So much, so much,
Yeah.
so much. We need to overhaul this crazy American system we've got going, and we need to get people off of this line of thinking that our system isn't broken and that we're a perfect country, because we're not. And criticizing your country for the sake of making it better is more patriotic than being blind to its faults and weaknesses. And I tell people that all the time whenever they tell me, well, if you don't like it here, why don't you leave? I'm like, I'm very patriotic. I'm telling you right now, it could be better and it should be better. So let's do better.
You know, that's one point I've mentioned once before, like, why don't you leave? That's a question that I've been asked. Why don't you leave your area, go somewhere in a bigger city or that has a bigger queer population? And in some ways, I mean, part of it is about the money. That's cheap here. I can live here and do what I want to do. I can write for a living, and if I moved to a bigger city with higher rent, I wouldn't. I'd have to find a different or an additional job at least to pay for rent and stuff like that. So part of it is about the money, but part of it is I don't think we should all flock away from places that might be contentious or whatever. Kind of feel like I kind of need to. I should stay here to show people that it's okay to be gay in this area, and kind of to acclimate people to people in the queer community. It's like
Yeah.
if if all the queer people in this part of the country left and went to bigger uh, liberal states and that kind of thing, what would we have left with in this area? A lot of conservative religious people who all believe the same way, and they would have no diversity or anything to challenge their thoughts. And I think that's important. I don't I don't think I should run away from this.
And I like to think of the label I give to that kind of thinking is what for the people who give into it is the term I use is self-imposed segregated migration. That they'll only go somewhere once they're drilled into their head enough. They'll only go somewhere where they'll feel like the place that they go lines up with their ideals, and where they go they feel more safe and more accepted in the community. But at the same time, if you don't expose the people in the areas you're talking about like that to alternate viewpoints, alternate lifestyles, whatever, then they'll never know. They'll never know what it is, and they'll never understand to be more accepting and more understanding of other people. And I think it's important for us to remember that when we, in the national discourse, when we talk about this, red versus blue or whatever, this tribalism, at the end of the day, we're all people, and we need to get other people to understand where we're coming from, and we just want to live our lives. That's period. That's all it is.
I wanted to highlight something that Elizabeth said in the chat. She said, instead, we've got to find spaces to coexist and get to know those people so they can put a face to the cause instead of leave it to the imagination, leave it something to imagine. And yeah, I agree. We need to learn to coexist and to have empathy for one another. That's something I told somebody earlier today, that I think empathy should be something taught in the schools, because obviously a lot of people aren't learning how to empathize with one another and to accept one another
I
when it
definitely
comes
agree.
to when you see cases like I posted a note earlier about Sam Nordquist, who was a trans man who was abused for, like, I think it was 2 months, abused and raped and tortured until he finally succumbed to his injuries. This was just earlier this year in the United States. And obviously those people involved in that had no kind of empathy for a fellow human being. And I just don't understand that.
No, I think it's really sad.
It's a major problem.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to bring the mood down or anything, but
No, you're fine.
some of these issues need to be talked about.
I did want to get back to something to kind of lighten the mood a little bit. I wanted to snap back at Henrik for something he said earlier in the talk about how
Uh-oh.
happy Denmark is.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
yeah, well, I mean, Denmark does, and I've studied the language, I've studied a little bit of the culture. We've talked about stuff. Now I realize why I'm so unhappy and think I need therapy as an American, because the way that you write and the way you present your culture and your language and your everything, it makes me feel like I need to go to therapy because I'm not enough. I need to go, or I need to readjust. I don't know. I feel like maybe readjust, move somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, that's good
Uh,
to hear. I'll have to write a lot of things, and I'll start charging people a lot of more money because of the therapy.
Yes, yes, exactly. You could be our therapist because you're a
Yeah.
Danish person. You're very happy. I mean, you're a Dane. You're very happy.
Yes.
yeah, you're making us
um,
all jealous.
exactly.
If you have read my stuff, you'll also know that I have had periods with not this happy life, but it's it's good
Yeah.
again.
No, yeah. I understand. I know what you're talking about. We don't have to get into it. It's just I know what you're talking about. Um, well, here's a fun one. So what projects are we working on right now? What are you excited about?
Mm.
What are we doing soon? So go ahead, Brandon. You could start this time and then we'll go to Henrik and then to
Oh,
me.
I've been writing several Christmas themed articles. I thought of an idea and I started writing something, and then as I was writing it, I was like, oh, that could be a separate article. So I cut that out and put it in a new one. So basically, I got 3 articles out of this one idea. They're all separate ideas that are in the Christmas, the holiday realm, you know. So I'm trying to get ahead on that and get that prepared for next month. So
Nice.
that's what I've been working on.
That'll be fun. How about you, Henrik?
I've been writing poetry the last couple of weeks,
Your poetry is stunning.
and I have just released the other day an article at my Danish Substack, Det Danske Hjørne, where I write about the power of going to vote, because we just had a regional election here in Denmark, and
I've been following that. Yeah,
yeah,
I watched
and so
the,
it was.
the EU TLDR news on YouTube. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I must have cut out for a second.
Yeah, you did just for a second there.
And Well, I also have this winter project in my computer that I should, in fact, um, go on writing on. It's a fantasy novel, and I think it's coming more and more in here that it wants to get out again. So yeah, I look forward to putting the words down on the screen.
We
So I
can't
have
wait.
a lot of things to work on, but it might not be that obvious just at the moment, but it will come soon.
Awesome.
So, Sturge, what are
Um,
you working on?
so I have some really exciting news. I have a couple of talks lined up coming up in the next couple weeks, particularly one that I'm going to be doing with Walter Ryan on December 4th at 10 a.m. Eastern. Uh, I don't want to give too much into what the exact talk's going to be about right now, but it's going to involve progressive politics. So stay tuned for that. I'm also working on an article about income inequality and what it means to be middle class, if that even exists anymore, and how that's different in other places and why the term is meaningless. Um, Another thing that I'm working on as well right now is I think I want to reinforce to people that I am political, even if I don't talk about it a lot, that I am pretty progressive, and I want to reinforce some of the ideas that I believe in and things that people, who are also progressive might want to see, might want to like just check out and see like what I would like use as like a platform of my own ideas. Like just basically like this is what I believe in. And I just think it'd be an interesting thing to write. So I want people to just see how savvy I've been with in the political climate. And I was a political science major in college, so I do have
Okay.
a decent amount of knowledge in that field. So I do want to bring some new energy to that and maybe come at it from a different angle. Who knows?
Well, we are approaching the top of the hour. So before we go, I wanted to thank everybody for coming in here. And I recognize a lot of the names, but
I did too.
if you aren't subscribed to me or Sturge or Henrik, please subscribe to us. Henrik and I both we monetize our publications. So if you're not a paid subscriber, it would really help us out
Yeah.
if you would subscribe. So we really appreciate that. And even if you become a free subscriber, we appreciate the attention and you reading and watching our stuff. So I've really had a good time talking today. Did either of you want to say anything before we go?
Um, Ha de bra.
I want to say thank you for making this possible. It was a little work to join us three together, but
Yeah.
it has been a real pleasure, and I look very much forward to reading and following your gay stuff, even the even the satiric stuff. Um, yeah. Now I will continue, and I think I will turn more direct, also gay stories. Here at the normal Substack, and yeah,
Well,
And
we look
I'll
forward to
keep an
reading
eye
that.
out on your spicier Substack
Yeah.
more carefully in the future because that is very fun to look at.
yeah.
Oh,
So
also, I wanted to
um,
mention the three of us should do this again sometime.
yes, of course,
Yeah.
very
Yeah. I
very
think we could
welcome.
probably work it out for a different day and time so we're not
Different day or
conflicting with
time, yeah.
anything. Yeah.
Well, yeah, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Well,
So
if that's
take
all,
care,
I guess
stay
we'll
gay.
sign off. Yeah. Thanks for everybody for coming. We had a good crowd today. We had 33 from my
Be
count.
safe.
It's great.
All right. See you later.
Yeah.
Just